is that? That's the chief.
All right, you proved your point. But what else you got? Huh? What else you got? I can guarantee with every ounce of my being that there's a part of you that you haven't tapped into yet. And we're waiting. We know the dark side. We've seen it. You've lived it. But where's the light? I know you got it in you. I'm not telling you how to run your show. Lord knows if it was me, I would have did it the exact same way. But please hear me and hear me good. For the sake of my ears from falling off my face, please switch it up for me. Come on now, Jay. I need that switch. I need that switch, Jay. Come on, please. So you've told your story, but what else you got to give? We need something else now. ADHD. You know what your ADHD is? All day he dreams. What are your dreams, Jordan? Give us your dreams.
Hello and welcome back once again, my friends, pioneers of werewolf's divergence and glitches, to another episode of the Daily Candle Close News, a quick morning update for you all, from me to you. I've dreamed, pioneers, my whole life of reaching 1 million people, touching the lives and changing the lives of 1 million people. And we at it again. Just want to come out again before I go to work a double today, and, tell you guys I love you all. I dream of changing your life, and we ain't gonna stop today, So all day he dreams. ADHD is something my whole life they said I had, and, I've really been soaking in this Joyner Lucas ADHD 2 full album recently, and, really enjoying it. You all know that. Even teaching about the butterfly effect and the metamorphosis, and when you see the album and the album cover, you're gonna see very, very special, very unique. Show it to you real quick, but if we were to just paste this right here, you can see, it's kind of what I've been seeing, that metamorphosis and that ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3, heading out of the true new year and the new cycle rally, March. And we've recently just seen Holy, the vibrant festival of colors and love and spring taking place in the Hinduism culture, which is where all religions come from, and like it was the first known religion over 6,000 years ago, and something I swear to God, either I was already born there in a past life, or I should have been born under this culture, has always hit home to Coach, and it's the victory over good and evil that I've been teaching my pioneers about, but it's for a good harvest, you know what I'm saying, coming out of all of this end of the year, the true end of the Mazzaroth and the zodiac wheel, and heading into the spring equinox, and the true first day of spring, and everything we've been teaching about, heading into cherry blossom season for many, many years now. So, it's that one last hump, and to get over, that last bump in the road, some would say, right? For me, was getting through this blood moon eclipse that has distracted and lost everybody while we were in such a, unprecedented amount of fear, constant fear, straight down and sideways for 100+ days, 200+ days for certain altcoins, some 400 days, and so again, just we even got reports of the world being at the most uncertain point ever in the history that humanity has been alive. And well, it still just was not clicking in minds of people that, be fearful when greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. And, that's what we've been teaching here, by the blood in the street, even if that's, blood is your own, so, just backing the truck up, loading it and stacking it, doing our thing, being the chief, holding strong, ain't never changed up, type of mentality, fourth quarter overtime, hopefully something we've been instilling in many of you around here. But where is this A-wave taking us? All the way up to 83K, potentially. Right here we've got this 50-55 SMA sitting at 76K. Right now holding that 71,700. So we'll have to see if we get another daily impulse to, finish this A-wave, or if our A-wave is completed here and we'll start heading back into a 66,600 B wave, which is usually a trap. The B wave is usually a trap. Remember that. So, everybody say relief rally's over. 2022 play out. We're going to 48K. You know what I'm saying? We're going to 23K. Which, to me are both technical ranges that I've been sharing by the code. 48K being tied to, a coup de grace that Eminem was just out here telling us in his latest album, correct? All tied to Donald Trump and a potential black swan event around, or an orange swan event around this man. But, a coup de grace, giving us that blow of mercy to 48K, potentially, okay? So, number 47, watching out for that, and, we've talked about things, but also we've talked about the euphoria coming back into the charts again after extreme, unprecedented amount of fear. And, we just had a 5 a couple weeks ago on the Fear and Greed Index, the lowest ever, right? Weekly RSI's reset, daily RSI's showing bullish divergences, things that we can't ignore. You know what I'm saying? And, again, the code of 60 being the lows after Donald Trump, who won the 60th presidential election, was back here in November. Remember, you guys, he was back here in November, on the 2nd of November, telling us about, he was in a 60-minute interview, okay, telling us about the crypto race we were in with the rest of the world to become, the supreme crypto leaders of the world, okay? And that's his words, basically. So that tied us to the 1960 space races. We saw Super Bowl 60, and the same week that Super Bowl 60 is being played, we hit 60K into World Monarch Day. And, then we enter the metamorphosis, right? The metamorphosis is M, but a inverted W pattern that we've been watching play out. An Adam and Eve that we've been discussing and breaking down in the charts, again, speaking about this in a very biblical way, even as we headed into, Easter Sunday next month and Resurrection Sunday, something we made history on last year in April, sharing the biblical story. And then again, this past year at the winter solstice around Jesus' birthday made history again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, irrefutable, undeniable, and always true. I know I may have upset a bunch of people the other day when I was speaking about that. The man was yeast, man. The man was bread. I told you guys, he said, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall not thirst. Okay? That's 6:35 out of John. 6:51, John tells you, I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Right? And we have to continue to understand that I speak to you in parables and allegories like he spoke to his following. And my pioneers in classes and all, they get the truth behind the scenes, just like it speaks about that he gave to his disciples. I've been out here connecting the dots that, this man was the bread. The Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. You know? At the Lord's Supper, what bread did he break, you guys? The matzah bread, right? The unleavened bread, right? He said, this is my body, which is broken for you, right? Which is significant to who we are. Because I am the bread of life. I am John. Where was he born? Bethlehem, right? Well, what does that stand for? What its etymology is the house of bread. You understand what I'm saying? But here's the deeper thing. Hebrew, just like everything else, is alphanumerical. What does that mean, Coach? It means you can take this and get its numeric value, because numbers are everything. That's why there's a Bible verse, a book called Numbers. Every letter has a numerical value. Bethlehem, house of bread, has a numerical value of 490. Right? And all this nativity, everything. What does that mean? The nativity story of Jesus, the birth of Jesus, right? It means, what does it mean though? Huh? It means whole. It means complete, right? It means perfect, right? That's the story of Jesus, correct? And it gives you that same 490 in numerical value, right? Complete, whole, perfect. Tied to the Hebrew word for that, right? To be perfect or complete, tamim. It gives us that same 490 value in Hebrew. So again, this is significant because Jesus, born in Bethlehem 490, connects bread and forgiveness. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, we for those who trespassed against us. I'm breaking the bread with those that have trespassed against me and belittled me, because I am the bread of life. So those that come out calling me not a man or kicking me out of their spaces, James winds and the waters above, etc., etc., that's belittled my work. I am who I am. Talk about the king takes his crown. Bitch, I been wearing that. Thorns dig deep. Been bleeding. Been took that and owned that shit. Which is why I've been the #1 crypto analyst and #1 decoding individual in the world. Calling history, writing history in advance, upwards of 3 years prior to events we've just recently seen. All tied to this alphanumerical code. I'm just here to break bread, man. I've just been sharing this for free. I've just been sharing my bread and forgiving. And that's what we're doing this morning. It's forgiving those that trespassed against us, that doubted us along the way, that belittled us and refused to say thy name. So if we roll over here to 59K, back again to the 17th prime number, is Bitcoin 17 years old? Cool, so be it. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, we're holding 66,600, so it's upside and away. Just broke 69K, 71.1. The 711 code, Master Chief 117. All tied to the numerical value we get in Bitcoin, 117. Let's chill some of these ciphers. But 117 Master Chief code, sitting there trying to break that 72K right now. Hold it, keep it, set a break a market structure at 73, 74K. Always we come out of holy in the true new year of March as we head into the spring equinox. Do we continue to see the charts blossom out of the same lows we were setting around this time period last year? Let's pay attention to March 12th, the day I've been decoding and sharing with my pioneers that could be a very potential upsetting day with well, an event to take place in 2026 because of how Donald Trump won the election. I'll be paying attention to a potential 77K around this time period. If we continue to see this ABC impulsive play out. It's something we've been teaching and looking at in our pioneers, with our pioneers in Elliott wave pattern theory, coming out of a corrective 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave to the downside to 60K. And the 666 code of breaking and holding 66,600, retesting Donald Trump election lows of 2024. So again, that election giving us a potential this time period today in this year to pay attention to. So very unique. Very, very unique. But yeah, I mean, I've been waiting on the bulls to step back up, you guys. Fallen wedge, again, the fifth wave that we talked about. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd have to draw out another. This was the fifth inside of that third wave. So, but yeah, same thing. I've got a chart with it somewhere. But fallen wedge, 68% chance we break out like last year at a cherry blossom season between now and end of April, right? Uranus will be transitioning into Taurus on my birthday, on Melania Trump's birthday, okay? April 25th, 26th, our birthdays. So that is a very important time period, and I expect to see this war continue to escalate until then. You know what I'm saying? And even, you know, who knows? It may end with a bang right there before the Donald Trump's birthday, the Illuminati's birthday, and America's 250th birthday, right? So, you know, very unique time period, like I said, that we find ourselves in with, you know, it being a fire horse year, something that comes every 60 years. We just hit a 60K low, right? Where are we at come 6 month, June, right? Very important time period, right? That carcinogenic phase in the markets, right? Are we finding ourselves in a D-Day situation like we've talked about in Decoded, right? Right, yeah. So Normandy landings, but we just saw the Iran landings, where we just, well, you've all seen the news. So very important, but just like I said, a quick update. Holding the neckline of this Elliott wave, but Adam and Eve pattern will be very unique, very important. Okay, we told you guys that this was all about life, you know, and not Adam and Eve. The story of Adam and Eve is not about man's downfall. It was about man's rise. Okay, so again, we broke this all down in class. Remember that. So Crypto's Andy Warhol, just looking to meet this trend line again. Very important. Okay, it goes all the way back to inauguration highs, the apex of the market, where I told you guys I was de-risking from December 2024 to February 2025. We bought our first home, and you know, here we are a year later getting even more and better opportunities to accumulate. So we de-risked here. We called the 126K highs. All right, so we've had an amazing ride, and now here we are accumulating in the same range we've been preparing you for, just Andy Warhol in it. But ultimately, just trying to see if we don't see that fifth wave expansion that we've been breaking down and discussing. That, again, I told you this shit will become popular. Nobody's been sharing this since 2022, like Coach Abe. 2023, coming out of the bear market, 15K. Like, okay, this shit's about to become popular. Watch what I say, and I won't get, you know, recognition for it. Remember that. It'll be somebody else that makes it famous. But yeah, wanted to look at gold, still trying to hit that 6K potentially with this fifth wave, holding the 21 EMA right now. Just so we're looking to break a market structure here at 54 to 5600. Where's my XRP chart? I just have to pull it up again. There it is. Alright, so we gave y'all that warning of it being 226 days down, and since then, you know, we've not went lower, you know. 226 Black Swan event, 226 tied to 262, an anagram of XRP cryptocurrency in the 226 year, holding that $1.37, which is the 33rd prime number, $1.34, $1.27 at the lows, you know, 126 at the lows, really. Bitcoin hit 126k high. Bitcoin XRP just had a low of $1.26. Do the math, you know, as above, so below. So like, I'm screaming go. I'm looking at $1.63, $1.53 coming very soon. You know, 10-20 cent jump. Break this market structure at 166.6. Again, the 666 code, right? And then see if we can't go back up to 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. Bitcoin's holding a $66,600 low right now. Remember, like we've been teaching this. So until we lose 73, or if we get rejected from 73, that's sacrifice, ritual sacrifice by the 73 code. You know, back down potentially. All right. Especially if we start losing 71.1. Y'all know that 711 code, Master Chief code. So we'll pay attention to the 66.6 for, you know, this. If the A wave is done, if we're not gonna shoot up into 79, 74, 70, 83, right? This A wave can go higher. Then if it's in, we're gonna set the B wave now, you know. So look for the fake out. All right. RSIs need to reset anyway on these lower time frames. But I got to get off here and get ready to go to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed the quick update. Much love. Take care.